Hello everyone, and welcome back to CSC 151, Computer Applications. In this video, we're going to be going over just some things we can change about strings. So, I already have a string here. I have the Lord of the Rings, and I could have done numbers, I could have done symbols, I could have done some sort of combination of everything. We know that this is a string because it has a quote here to start and a quote here to end. And I put it in a variable named x. And just to prove the point, I printed x, and there it is, it's right there. Now, here's the thing. Different data types have different things you can change about them. So right now, x is a string, and you can do certain things with strings. For example, since I'm using letters, I can change this to uppercase or lowercase. However, if this were an integer, which once again, remember, integers are numbers, I can't really change an uppercase or lowercase number. It doesn't make sense. So the type of data you have depends on the certain types of things you can change about it. So if I do x dot upper, I'm literally going to change everything to uppercase. And boom, there we go. Now the Lord of the Rings was uppercased. So the dot, that little period, is basically saying we're going inside the object. We're getting something a little bit smaller as far as the information goes. Much like how a URL, we've got our website, and then we're going into the library, and then we're going into a folder, then we're going into this, so on and so forth. You're going into a smaller thing. Or if you're going in, like, say, your documents. We've got documents, and then inside that I've got this folder, which then goes inside this folder, which then goes inside this folder, which then goes into this, into that, so on and so forth. So that's what we're doing. That dot is basically going into, so I can get a specific thing I want to change. And like always, there's a start point, and there's an end point to that upper. So whatever you start, you must end. And same thing if I did dot lower, and do the little parentheses. It'll make everything lowercase, even the capital L and the capital R that I have right there. And of course I could do this with, instead of doing upper or lower, I could do title, and title will capitalize the first letter of every word. So the is capital, L is capital, O, T, and R are once again capitalized. I could also do something like this and say swap case. And now, it'll do exactly what it sounds like it'll do. It will swap the cases. The lowercase is uppercase, the uppercase is lowercase, which really only appears to be the L and the R on this result. I can also do what is known as stripping. So I just do strip, and I put the quotes there, and what it does is it gets rid of the additional spaces on the left and the right. So that's how that works. And of course, you'll notice that so far I don't have anything in these quotes, but assuming since I have a starting parentheses here and ending parentheses there, I could in fact put something inside those parentheses. And you'd be right. So I'm going to use the word replace now instead. And the replace is going to have two things. It'll have the thing that I want to replace, so which right now I put the word the, and I put my comma to indicate that now I'm going into the second thing. And the second thing is literally what it is I'm replacing it with. So I'm going to replace the word the with da. And now I have the Lord of the Rings. So yeah, I replaced the word the with da. I could even replace something like, let's replace O let's replace an O with a, let's replace it with a 3. Now I have I have something like that over there. I could also just say I'm going to replace every space with nothing. So there's a space over here on the left. There's not a space. One moment. Sorry. There's not a space in between these two. So now, every single space has been replaced by nothing, and it just smishes the word altogether. I can do stuff like that, just by, the first thing is what I'm going to grab, the second thing is what I'm replacing it with. And that's just some stuff that we can go mess around with strings. In the next video, I'm going to mess around with some numbers. So, see you then!